It's fall, y'all, and us fall girlies, we love the smells of fall. We love our pumpkin spice. We love our vanilla coffee. We love our cinnamon, but what we don't love in the fall is BO. You guys, just because it's not summer anymore doesn't mean we don't still have BO. We do, and that's why you need Lumi. Lumi is a whole body deodorant that is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Your pits, your underboobs, your thigh folds, your belly buttons, your butt cracks, your private areas, and your feet. Lumi was created by an OBGYN who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. And it's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. Lumi now has a starter pack that's perfect for new customers. So it comes with a solid stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like the mini body wash and the deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And as a special offer for my listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code PINKSHADE. So if you combine that 15% off coupon with the already discounted starter pack, that equals 40% off their starter pack. So use code PINKSHADE for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. LumiDeodorant.com, LumiDeodorant.com. Use code PINKSHADE and you're going to get 15% off, and the starter pack is already reduced. You guys, I love the deodorant wipes and I love the all over deodorant. You need to try both of these things out and let me know what you liked. Thanks. Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Mugshot Monday. It's a new show, Life After Lockup. Hi Keisha.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm okay.
There too.
Yeah. I'm getting a haircut next week because I can't take it. This last haircut I got, remember I told you it was like too long on one side, and I love the girl that cuts my hair, but this was a fail. It was a fail of a haircut. I'm not happy with it.
Well, there's a saying like your hairdressers just they'll do it right, but by that 5th time they fuck up a little bit. Like I'm having issues with my bangs, so I got to go get my hair redone too because she fucked up my bangs.
I've been going to her for, 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
And my whole family goes to her. We love
Yeah.
her. Love her. But this was, and maybe we were talking too much and that happens.
That happens.
Yeah. Where I was like, oh, okay. But it is like uneven and yeah. Anyway, I could just send her a text and she'd be like, girl, just come to my house. I mean, she's completely normal and fun, but it's really bothering me and I can't get my bangs to do right. And we were doing this on Love is Blind. We were recording a few days ago. I was like, ugh, my hair. Oh, it's driving me crazy.
And you can't tell it's uneven until you
I pointed it out.
And you can see. Yeah. Otherwise, you can't tell at all. No, I think you look perfectly fine, but I get it. It could be like one small thing off with your hair, and it's just like I'm going to shave my whole head off.
Well, I feel like Alex on Love is Blind. I'm just constantly petting my hair, trying to get it.
And she has absolutely no reason to be petting her hair.
She really doesn't.
I don't get it.
You guys, in case you don't know, Keisha and I are covering Love is Blind over on Pink Shade Prime, $10 level. And we put out the 6 episodes to go with the 6 episodes. We put them out all together. And this Wednesday, 2 days from now, we'll be putting out 3 because Netflix will drop 7, 8, 9. And we're going to drop 7, 8, 9. Same thing goes on and on until it's over. We drop it the same time they drop it. So you can watch the episode, listen to the recap, and laugh your head off at this. Yes. People are bored with these people, and so we're making it funny.
I told you that the first 2 episodes, I'm like, Mary Payne, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like about these people. They're rather boring. Like we really got to reach down deep. Thank God we are the comedic goddesses that we are, that we can make any and everything funny, because they have not been giving us a lot to work with here.
Yeah. I mean, you think about AD and Clay. We had so much to make fun of there.
Yeah, with so many of them. Then you had crazy Megan Fox 2.5 on there.
Yeah.
We had some dickwads. We had some really crazy women. We had some really beautiful people. I don't know. It just hasn't been giving, but I have a feeling they're going to step it up.
I think they're going to step it up these next 3 episodes. And then you have always had a bad feeling about Tyler. And then you sent me something today where people are saying he's a total fuckboy and he's a liar. And so what he told us on, maybe it was episode it was episode 5 or 6 when he was like, "Oh yeah, some people may say I'm an asshole." I'm like, "Say what now?"
No, some people for a fact that's how they would describe you. He's just from the very beginning. I'm like, there's something off about him.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
Where everyone else could probably see him like, oh, he's so sweet. He so loves her. He's so ready to get married. I'm like, something.
Well, when I saw that tattoo on the top of his side that said "loser," I was concerned.
Even he's telling us. He even admits it. I'm a fucking loser. And you know what? In case I forget that I'm a fucking loser, I'm gonna look down to my thigh to remind myself I'm a loser.
So if you guys want to hear that, I also got some inside tea on Leo, the very, very rich art dealer who doesn't want you to talk about how rich he is. I know where his house is, and I'll be driving by it tonight. Actually, I have to go that way, so I'll be driving by. So I've got some scoop on him, but I will tell that over on Pink Shade Prime. Now, here's something else about Pink Shade Prime, Keisha.
Okay.
Patreon is where we have a lot of people. I have a lot of people in Supercast and quite a few people on Apple subscriptions, but Patreon generally is where most people go because they're most familiar and it's comfortable and they know how to use that. Well, Patreon has an app. And so I listen to all my Patreon stuff on the app, all the ones I subscribe to. And then sometimes if I need to re-listen to something we did, I listen to it on the app. Well, because the app is on, Apple. So I bought the Patreon app and put it into my store from the Apple store or whatever app store. So now if I go onto Patreon, I think it's supposed to start October, but I don't think it started yet, but maybe it has. If you go into the Patreon app and I say, you know what, I've always wanted to follow Watch What Crappens. Love those guys. I think I'm going to give them $5 a month or whatever for Patreon. You're on the app. You already subscribed to 6 other things. So you're going to click it. I'm going to subscribe to Watch What Crappens. Well, if it's $5 a month, Patreon is going to take like 30% and they're going to charge you more and give the creator less.
Oh.
Okay. So if anybody right this minute wants to subscribe to Pink Shade Prime or anybody else that you love them and want to give them money for their Patreon, get that extra content, do not do it on the app. Do it on the website. If you do it on the website, everything is fine. It's the same as if you do like Supercast or Apple subscriptions. I don't know. Apple subscriptions also doesn't pay the creator much at all. It's like 12%. It's something crazy.
Wow.
It's very low. Supercast is the best, in my opinion, for creators. They give the creators the most. There's more options there for the creators. But Patreon, people love it. People are used to it. I'm telling you right now, if you're going to even upgrade, if you're on Pink Shade Prime, $5, you want to upgrade to 10 because you want to hear Love Is Blind, don't do it on the app. They're going to screw you out of more money, and then they're going to give less money to creators, and Apple's taking more money for themselves. They're using it as an in-app purchase, right? So if you're like playing, I'll give a great example. My husband loves to play Angry Birds, but you do like a $10, like buy a special pack of something that'll get you a higher level or something. That's an in-app purchase. So Patreon will be charging Apple subscribers for an in-app purchase if they upgrade their Patreon or if they subscribe to a new Patreon. So Apple doesn't have enough money. They're really struggling. They're really trying to figure out how to get that extra 20 cents out of people. But so guys, if you are going to subscribe to anybody on Patreon or upgrade this Patreon, do it on the website. Go to patreon.com and do it there. And then the fees will be normal. If you do it on the app, you're going to get charged more and they're going to then give less to the creator as well.
Well, aren't you just a bowl of information today?
We've known this. We've known this. They've been sending something out maybe since August. Patreon's been telling the creators, like, you need to tell people this. But I waited until it was just about to happen because, like, if you tell somebody in August, nobody's going to remember. And also right now is a time for me specifically where people subscribe more or upgrade more because they want to hear Love Is Blind.
Right.
And sometimes if we add in Family Karma or Indian Matchmaking, or one of those people will upgrade or join at a higher level because they want to hear that stuff. So don't do it on Patreon app, guys, unless you want to be charged more and then have less go to whoever you're subscribing to. Anyway, that's Patreon Corner. Patreon sucks /Apple sucks corner.net.
Well, I got to go tell producer James all that information.
Yeah, I bet he knows. I bet he knows.
Of course he does.
He probably knows. Yeah. Yeah, let him know if he's subscribing to Patreon. Don't do it on your app. Because Apple is a greedy mofo company. I said it.
Well,
I said it.
I don't have to tell him. He's going to listen to the show and hear it.
I love that. I love that he's a listener. Thank you, producer James.
Yes, he
So sweet.
is such a listener.
So sweet.
He enjoys the show.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you.
loves the shows. Yeah.
Keisha, we have a new season here, Life After Lockup.
See, you know what?
But
I
we're still,
appreciate the fact
it's still season 5. It's still season 5. Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that they did not make us wait like a month.
Oh, totally. Yeah, they rolled right in. They didn't try to honey boo boo in the middle. Nope.
No. They are filming, just in case anyone out there is wondering. They are currently filming, so we will get some honey boo boo in there. So never fear.
Never fear.
Never fear. Never fear. Yeah. So yeah, I like rolling right into it.
So this is actually season 5, episode 41. It's just so ridiculous. Why? Why are we doing it? Why don't we just whatever? We know why they do it. We've already talked about it. We figured it out. Somebody told us, so they can pay the people less. Okay. So Life After Lockup is a show on WeTV. It comes on Friday nights. It's you got Love During Lockup, where people talk on the phone.
Which that comes back in December.
Okay. So then we got Love After Lockup is when the during lockup people get out. And then we got Love. And then this one is Life After. It's 3 versions. And this is after everybody's been together for a while. Kinda. So except for most of these people. So this is season 5, episode 41. This is episode 1 of this season of Life After Lockup, of which we don't know what it is because WeTV just tries to keep us confused. So we're going to start where we left off. The last Love After Lockup season is Bianca and Daniel, and they're in the car.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, first of all, I think he's real cute.
He is cute. He is way too cute and too smart for her.
I was
except for like the whole drug addiction part, but never that. Put that off to the side. He's too good for Bianca. She's dumb. She's immature. She's entitled. She has greasy hair. She does bad makeup. She doesn't know how to dress. She could possibly be an undercover alcoholic. She's a lot.
Wow.
Safe to say I don't like Bianca at all.
Oh my God. Okay, so we open with these two in the car and they're headed to her apartment. And in the talking head with him, he talks about his arrest and how they found each other. And he's like, she's just so perfect. I'm so happy to be with her. And on her talking head, she says it's been way over a year since she had sex, but they had a lot of phone sex. And we get reminded that he did the thing that we see a lot of our prisoners do, is just send a drawing of your dick.
So this is gross.
It is.
But
you're about to be grosser?
I wonder, do female prisoners do the same thing?
Ooh. What would they do? Like do the splits on a piece of paper? I mean, like, gross. Ew.
But I'm willing to bet they do.
Ooh, Keisha, why did you even make me think that? And then I said it. And now I feel gross.
Because I have the maturity level of a 12-year-old boy. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
You know this. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they get to the apartment. They're making out on the couch. And then they move into the bedroom. That bedroom is so dark. The whole apartment is so dark. So dark.
Well, because Bianca lives there. There's no light bulbs going off anywhere, including in her head. It's just all dark.
It's like, get some light.
Something.
So they're making out and stuff. And she's like, I hope he lasts, because like I won't even finish if it's just 2 pumps. Girl. What do you think? He's been in prison for 5 years.
And it's not like you can't do it again.
Right.
And again.
Right.
And again.
She's only 23. She could do it 10 times in a day if she wants.
Yeah, she can. Us oldies, it's like, okay, you know what? If that's all you got, that's all I need.
That's great. Because good night.
Yep.
Yeah. Because it's time for my programs.
It is, yes. Right.
So anyway, they make out and he's like, okay, you guys need to leave, whatever. So the guys leave. The producers leave.
Mary Payne, this is disgusting.
What?
He didn't even take the prison wash off shower.
No.
He's making out her and his breath still smells like the prison toothpaste that he has to use. He's not as clean as he needs to be. He's been using prison soap.
You're
I
right.
don't.
He
I
didn't
think he needs a
shower.
good scrubbing. Yeah, take 5 extra minutes.
Yeah.
Just do a nice little scrub.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
like that. That was really gross.
Yeah. You're totally right.
Mm.
So the next morning, he's cooking and he's like, I haven't cooked anything in so long. She's like, get used to it because you'll be cooking for me all the time. Okay. Also, Bianca, what the fuck are you wearing? Get a better fitting shirt. You're young and hot. You don't have to do this. What are you doing?
Here's the thing, Mary Payne. She's not hot. She's just young.
Okay. Well, in my mind, it's equal, but I guess you're right. You're right.
Not in mine. No. You are young. Indeed, you are that. She's not hot. She always wears ill-fitting clothes.
She's got on like a size triple extra small tank top that is scrunched up around like her
Yes.
mid tire section when she could
Yeah.
probably just wear a size small and it would fit
Yep.
perfectly. But I don't know
Yeah.
why. I was like, why? This is not, anyway, this is upsetting to me. So,
Mm-hmm.
in the talking head, she was like, I mean, in person, I mean, Daniel has muscles, but I mean, he looks skinnier. Like maybe he catfished me. Meanwhile, he's in the kitchen without a shirt on cooking. And I was like, damn, he's got a good
He
body.
looks pretty, and he's got a really cute face.
Yeah.
This is just her. She has a bad personality. I don't think she likes anything. Okay. This is the person who went and looked up a person who was in prison for a DUI and said,
Yep.
I only want to be with people with DUIs. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, he's like, well, I hadn't had sex in 5 years. So like, how was it? How was it? And she
Yeah.
goes, it was fine. And her talking head, he goes, it was so great. We just melted into each other and we stared into each other's eyes and we held each other. It was so wonderful. And she said, it wasn't terrible, but he just wanted to stick it in.
Well,
What do you
yes.
expect? What do you expect?
Like, that is exactly what he's. He's not gonna want to make love to after a month of fucking. Then he'll be like, you know what? Let's really make love now.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. So she says, today they have to go to talk to the parole officer and make sure that they can stay there in the apartment together. And he goes, yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. She goes, I spent $12K. She spent $12,000 on phone bills.
I don't believe that.
$12,000 just to talk to him and another $8,000 to move there. And she says,
I don't believe the 12,000 in phone bills. How?
Also, why does it cost $8,000 to move into that dark apartment? I mean, she shipped her car.
So how much is it to ship a car?
Where are we coming from? We're going Florida to
Arizona.
All right.
I thought it was like around $2,000 to $3,000.
I was going to say $2,000. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say $2,000.
Okay, let's say the rent is $1,500, so she had to get first and last. So now we're up to $5,000.
Yeah, we know she didn't buy new clothes. We know she didn't go get a makeover.
She didn't clean anything or like try to paint the walls or anything like that.
She's just adding up to make him feel bad. I hate when they do this. Like, yeah, you had to spend the money. You're the free person. You didn't have to technically move here. We could have kept dating over the phone.
Yep.
You wanted to do this.
She says, she goes, so, I mean, I spent all that money. So if we can't live together, I'm going to be pissed off. And he goes, well, we'll just have to see what they say, babe. And then they're in a talking head together. And he says, the amount of money she spent just to communicate with me does show me the level of commitment she has. And I do want to contribute. I want to get a job right away. And did you notice in this talking head together, the lighting and the makeup is so terrible. Like my lighting in this office is better. Mm-hmm. They are both so like hollow-eyed. They both look like they've been up for 3 days. They look terrible.
They may have been up for 3 days.
Right. So the coffee, you can hear the coffee pot is percolating and it sounds like it's done. And she goes, the coffee's done. So you could get me a cup of coffee. And he goes, yeah, no, I'm eating. Now this is like the second free person meal he's had.
Yeah.
And he has a whole plate of food in front of him. And the coffee maker that he cooked. And the coffee maker is an arm's reach away. They're in a tiny apartment. Mm-hmm. And he goes, no, like I'll get up and get it in a minute. Like I'm eating right now. And she goes, yeah. What do you mean? No. He goes, no. And she goes, do you know how much I've done for you? And you can't even get my coffee. And he goes, why did you do those things for me? And she goes, because I love you. And he goes, okay, because you love me. So don't throw that in my face ever. Like, don't try to use that as manipulation. And she's like,
you should have told her, love yourself and go make your own fucking cup of coffee.
I don't know how you like it. Just do it.
Yeah, I'd rather make my own cup of coffee personally.
Me too.
He's sitting there eating.
And she goes, why are you so dramatic? Why are you so triggered?
She is something else. Like,
And the talking head, she goes, he's being selfish and rude. And I just wonder, like, what else might piss him off? Well, how about the guy just sat down to eat and go, get up and get my
yeah,
coffee. Get up,
right.
eat your
Go
food, and
go
then
get
get a cup of
some
coffee.
coffee. Yeah.
I
But
didn't get it.
I will say that I was very glad that he did stand up to her, because a
Me
lot of
too.
these guys fresh out of prison, they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it." No, I mean, he seems totally reasonable. Like, no, go get your own cup of coffee.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
The dogs are downstairs. If you hear them barking, I'm sorry. I'm the only adult at this house. So, okay, now we have to talk about, and I sent this to you last night, Zeruiah. We have been told her name is Zeruiah.
Mhm,
We've heard other people call her Zariah, like Mariah,
mhm,
but with a Z. And now we've heard Zeruiah. And
mhm.
you're not like, okay, it's Zeruiah. It's Zeruiah. I wrote it down phonetically so I don't fuck it up. I don't want to
Mhm.
disrespect anybody's name. Also, I have a hard
Yep.
name, so I get it.
Mhm.
But her sister on this show says Zeruiah. And I wrote
So
that down
here,
phonetically. Zeruiah.
so in her defense, I think her name is Zeruiah, because
Okay.
we've heard her pronounce her own name.
Okay.
But we also know that in a lot of cases with siblings, especially if the sibling is younger,
Mm-hmm.
they cannot pronounce the older sibling's name. And that's where like a lot of nicknames come up. And
Okay.
I think she's just so used to saying it like that, she couldn't say it right. That's just how she says her name.
She says Zeruiah, and then later she says Zaru. Zaru, like she takes off the last. I'm like, you guys, we're just going to continue to call her Z because I cannot. It's upsetting. It's confusing. I need some confirmation. Maybe I will send her a
It's
DM,
Aria.
but then I
Yeah.
don't want her to
I
listen. So,
Oh no. I don't even know if my brothers know my name is Rakisha.
yes, they do. Yes, they
No,
do.
I really don't know if they know that. I've never heard them call me that. They've
That is
only
funny.
called me Keisha or Key. I don't know if they know. I really don't. Because it
That's
was too hard for them to say.
when they were babies. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
know.
they just yeah, them motherfuckers probably don't know. If someone actually told them to write their sister's name down, they would say Keisha Owens. I guarantee you they would.
All right. Well, that'll be a question you can ask them later.
I am.
All the little babies when they were little, like my nephews, and well, they're older now, but when they were little and they couldn't say Mary Payne, of course,
Right.
they call me Maine, Maine,
See?
Maine.
See?
Here comes
And
Maine.
sometimes those names stick.
Yeah, Maine. And then they would also, for my dad, his name's Bones. And so
Right.
everybody calls him Bones. It's never been, his name is John, but everybody calls him Bones. So the grandkids call him Bones when they're little. Sometimes if they can't say that, they'll call him Bone or sometimes
See?
Moan.
See?
It's so cute.
That is how so many nicknames, like my mom's sister's name is Martha,
Okay.
and they are literally 364 days apart.
Oh,
And my mom couldn't say Martha. So she called her Marty. So that's the nickname that stuck. So my mom's name is Charlotte. Her younger siblings couldn't say Charlotte, so they call her Shala. It has lasted all this time.
I like Shala. That's cute.
Shala. Shala.
Mhm.
Shala. Yeah. So it just, and no one corrects anyone. Just like,
All
yeah.
right. Well, one day we're going to get to the bottom of it. I don't know if it'll be this season, but we'll try. So they're arguing about lack of space, and he has like put some of her things away to make stuff. And he put away her bra. She was like, "Why would you put away my bra?" I was like, "I need that every day." But when we get there, like their shot that comes up,
Yeah.
her hair is 1,000% better. No wig cord needed.
No, she's still on probation, but she's at the point with her probation, she doesn't even have to go in. She just calls and checks in. That's
Yeah.
where she's at.
And somebody
Yeah.
put on the Facebook group, they're like, she doesn't even
What?
have to be in the building. She doesn't have to be in the court. She doesn't have to be in the building. Maybe she needs to be on standby, but she doesn't have to wait in the building for her
Uh,
court case to be called.
she's not going to be a repeat offender. That's great.
Yeah. So they're talking head together. She looks better. They look cute
Mhm.
together. And they say, life has been crazy as hell since he got home. When we, see the
Well,
clips
we
of
know. We
everything,
saw.
we saw that
Yeah.
on TV. And then they fight about reorganizing the space. Now we do see that there's a little office space that we haven't seen before.
No, I saw it before and I was kind of like, what do they? There's the extra space that they keep saying that they don't have right there.
Yeah, they could make that whole thing a closet.
Yeah, they
Yeah, and
need to.
it looks like he's got a bunch of his shoes in there, but, okay, so they reorganize and blah, 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 and the talking head, he says, Zeruiah, he doesn't say her name, he just she. She's the love of my life and my best friend, and living with her is a real vibe. Now, it would be enough space if just 2 people lived here, but he says there's 3 of us, but there's 4 if we count the son. Y'all, we all dread the whole what should we have for dinner question. I swear on my life, it starts in this house around the time we're eating lunch. People start asking, what are we having for dinner? It drives me crazy. Inevitably, sometimes we order takeout, and it's easier sometimes, but my gosh, it's never satisfying. And I'm always like, I feel so gross. Why do we keep ordering takeout? So this is why I'm loving HomeChef. It makes it really easy to cook at home, and the food is tons better. You feel better about it. And by the by, it saves you money. I love meal kits. Being able to feast on a delicious meal without the long prep and cook times is what drew me to HomeChef in the first place over the other guys as well. HomeChef meals are effortless, even for somebody like me who is not like the world's greatest cook, but I can follow a card with a recipe like nobody's business. HomeChef provides those fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently delivered right to your door. When you open your door and you see it there, you pop it in your fridge or freezer, you're like, okay, my week is done. I don't have to have this fight with my family 3 times a week about what is for dinner. They have the classic meal kits, which is what I like. That has the pre-portioned ingredients, the easy instructions. That's what I like. Then they also have some speedy recipes that can be ready in 30 minutes. They have oven-ready kits already, and they have microwave meals. So whatever you're looking for, they have it. I like the classic meal prep because I like to do it myself because I might like to add a little of this, take a little less of that. Sometimes they send me mushrooms. I don't like that. You may like extra mushrooms. You know, whatever is your thing, HomeChef is there for you. They have over 30 options a week that serve a variety of dietary needs. So you don't have to worry about like what to make ahead of time. And this person likes this, and maybe the friend's coming over that's a vegetarian or whatever. Ooh, that sounded pretty specific. Not only is it convenient, but it's economical too. HomeChef customers save an average of $86 a month on groceries. That's an entire trip to the grocery store, guys, or like 2 fill-ups of your car. They have a delicious kid-friendly family menu with 18 new options each week for your kids or your adult kids who only like to eat kid food. For a limited time, HomeChef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/pinkshade. That's homechef.com/pinkshade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. You heard me right. homechef.com/pinkshade, but you must be an active subscriber to receive the free dessert. Do it and tell me what you ordered.
Well, he said 3, but he said, but there's 4 of us.
Oh, I thought he said there were.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what he said? Enough
Yeah.
space if there was 3, but there's 4.
Have
Okay.
4. He just doesn't want the sister there at all.
And by the way, you've had plenty of time to find another place to live. Like the husband's coming home, you should move out. I kind of think Zion should move out. I do.
Well, why doesn't Zion live with the parents?
Yeah. Well, probably because they bug. Yeah.
And I think they have like at least 5 or 7 more Z's siblings and brothers that she could live with as well.
There's so many. There's so many.
Mm-hmm.
So Z talks to her sister Zion, and she goes, listen, I know it's crowded in here for you, and you were here before Troy. So, we're trying to make this work out. And so I'm like, sister needs to go. So, and we're talking as Zion goes, actually, I felt bad for Troy because he seems like a beaten down man. Like she goes on her tirades. And I look at him. He's just sitting at the kitchen table, like, wait for this to be over.
Yeah, he has to keep reminding himself, I'm paroled to this house. I'm paroled to this house. The only other place I have to go is with Black Karen, and I don't want to go live with Black Karen.
No, because first of all, he'd be nearer to his child, but then what happens at that house, we're not sure. Sorry, I moved away from the microphone because I'm putting on some nail strengthener. It's very important. It's called multitasking. Look into it. Okay. So sorry about that. So Zion is going to take Azael to school. And I did notice on the fridge was like Azael, it was like an honor roll thing, like one of those little things. And then it was another thing that looked like what you put on your desk on the first day of school where you write your name out in big block letters,
Yeah.
with the lines. And that was on the fridge. And I was like, that looks like for like a kindergartner. And that kid
Why
is
the
like
fuck was that on
11.
there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Questions. We have questions.
Interesting.
So Troy has got all his materials out and he is rolling a blunt. And she's like, what are you doing? Please don't get too high. He goes, I'm not going to get high before work. I'm rolling this for us to smoke after work. She goes, all right.
I mean, yeah, sounds
me?
good to me. Sounds smart.
But I mean, is it legal? I guess it is legal in New York.
I think it's legal up there. Yeah.
Because I say there's a kid right there, but I guess that it is legal. So
if it were legal, Mayor Payne, I'd be rolling down the street.
You walk on the street,
it's cracked.
It's like walking around here in New York. You're just like, oh my God, skunk! Somebody smoking pot on their porch. Ugh.
Yeah, but I do like the edibles because the edibles are a lot less smelly, a lot less messy.
Work. It's work to roll those joints. Work. So they're going to work at their 501c3 allegedly. Project HEAL. HEAL stands for Helping Everyone Accept Love. If you look up Project HEAL, the only thing that comes up is a national organization that is for eating disorders. However, if you look up Project HEAL New York, Syracuse, this will come up 12 down, and it is a nonprofit that provides mental health therapeutic support for at-risk youth and formerly incarcerated individuals. Okay. Why are these two the only people in the purple logo shirts with the name tags like they're going to work at McDonald's? They walk in the office and nobody else has that on.
Well, because they're going to focus on outreach. They're going to be out in the community.
Okay.
Helping spread awareness about this organization. The only thing that saved their asses with me with this whole fucking thing was that there were two other staff people there. Now, were they hired to be there, like for camera? Or do they really work there?
They're on the website, both of those people.
That's very interesting.
Because I had a deep dive on that website. So, I looked it up. It looks legit. You can look up Project Real Syracuse something. So they arrive at the office space that look a lot like Letitia's offices. Okay. It's just a lot of empty space.
And I have to say that I've worked with a lot of nonprofit organizations, and usually ones with that are particularly like what they're doing. They have had someone who has rented them out like a house, you know what I mean? So they have different rooms for the patients. It is never something particularly like that.
Yeah.
That looks like it looks fake.
It looks fake.
Because where are the people going when they get there?
I don't know.
To talk privately.
I don't know where their people are going to talk privately. I did see on their website that you could schedule these Zoom therapy appointments.
They'd have to.
Yeah. But anyway, there is a logo on one of the doors. The logo is on the door. So you can't do that if you're not at least renting the space for a month. I don't know. So we meet Dr. Ednita, and she's legit. I looked her up. And then Ashley is another licensed social worker that is there. They both have all the correct letters after their names.
Yes, they do.
And they work there, but they don't get purple polos. There's only 2 purple polos available. And so they sit down after they show him his office, which is a stand-up desk and a computer on it and nothing else.
He needs a little walking pad underneath it for himself, a little walking pad so he can work out while he's in his little cubicle.
Yeah.
That's not a cubicle.
It's a glass box. So they sit down with Ednita and Ashley, and she explains that, what Troy is going to be doing is community outreach, going out, like we can check on people if they didn't come to their appointments or if they whatever. And so he explained, running the streets, I've set up businesses. It's just like running an office. It's very similar. You do need individuals to do paperwork and file paperwork and answer the phones. What paperwork are you filing if you're running a drug pen operation on the street? What paperwork?
They do have to do paperwork. They have to be able to keep up with stuff like their inventory, like who took how much out, what person. Why do I sound like a fucking kingpin right now?
I don't know how you know. I don't know how you know.
I'm just like thinking like, I mean, that does make sense. But the difference is one is very illegal and this one is not.
Yeah. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. And you need people to answer the phones. I'm like, okay.
For sure.
So now, of course, Zeruiah says that she has a secret that she hasn't told him. Okay, of course.
Yeah.
All right, so now she's in this crazy face mask and talking to him about wedding planning. She's like, "This is my idea. This is the vibe." And her
Okay,
talking
so
head.
wait. Someone on the Reddit said that she looked like, who was the genie from Pee Wee's Playhouse? Mecca Mecca Hi Mecca Hiney Ho. A Mecca Mecca Hi Mecca Hiney Ho. And I'm like, I can't unsee it. That is exactly who she looks like.
I can't remember that. That's
well,
funny.
it looked just like her. That's all you have to even remember.
Okay.
That was the face right there. It was just a head.
Yeah.
That's what it was, a head in a box.
Yeah, it was like
Zeruiah.
a blue face mask with like black under eye patches, and she didn't even go all the way around. It was okay. So she's talking to him about wedding planning, and she says she's been dreaming about a perfect wedding day, but I got to tell you the secret. So she shows him a text that says rent has not been paid for May or June for the offices. There was a problem with the contract and the invoicing and the funding, and she's only had enough to pay the therapist and not pay for the rent. And he's like, "Are you kidding? What are you talking about? Well, how did you let that happen? What do you mean the funding?" So they talk about their budget and their invoices and their expenses, and it's a learning process. And he goes, "Well, what the fuck will we do?" And she goes, "Well, I don't know why you're mad. I did everything I could to avoid this. I don't know why you're mad." And he goes,
"So
he goes, "Well, how are we going to make money? What is your plan?" She's like,
"Yeah,
don't get mad. Like, what are you mad about?"
Remember, this is the same person that told us when we first met her, "I don't worry about money. Money just comes to me. It just comes to me." Well, apparently it's coming real slow right now. And then why don't you have donors? Like with nonprofit organizations, you have donors that give you money. And now she's just depending on the state. She don't know what the fuck she's doing.
She couldn't get the funding. So in his talking head, he goes, "I feel so disrespected. A year ago, she cheated on me. And now she didn't pay the rent. It's like, what else is she not telling me?" So
she's a liar.
He's yelling at her about the grants, and it's a nonprofit. And he goes, "So tell your doctors and therapists about this and see if they're going to work for free." And she's like, "Why are you so mad?" So he walks out of the apartment and he's like, "I'm going to go figure out how to make some money." And she's like, "You look crazy." And he goes like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to figure out a way to make money. She's yelling, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" And I'm like, I bet these neighbors are so sick of her yelling off that porch.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And they can hear her yelling inside. They probably think there is a demonic person who transforms herself into a demon every third day. This is what she does. And the rent here is really cheap, so we're just going to ignore it. We're going to deal with it. We're going to ignore it.
What if somebody was like super high next door and they're like, "Oh my God, that lady's yelling again," and looked out and saw her with all that stuff on her face? They'd be scared.
They would be pissed off at their dealer because they're like, "This motherfucking dealer laced my shit with something and they didn't tell me about it." Because now I'm seeing blue-faced bitches around
now I got visions. So, okay. So anyway, she's like, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" He goes, "I'm going to go, you go in the house." And she blah, blah, blah. So she goes, "You're going to go out in the street in all black and a pink do-rag and you got an ankle monitor? You just screamed, felon." So
she wasn't lying because he fucking did.
So he calls somebody, "I'll come pick me up." And this is all just for show. We know that he's not going to do anything wrong.
No,
but talking head, he says, "Of course, I know how I can quickly make the money and get us caught up. And sometimes you got to do the wrong things for the right reasons."
Which means he's probably called her dad or something like that. It's going to ask for money behind her back. It's not going to be a drug deal because, first of all, he doesn't even know anyone there.
Right. Different town.
Enough to become a drug dealer. So
not overnight. No, you're right.
No.
I bet
and not in the pink bonnet either. Not in the hot pink bonnet. No.
And you're right. I bet he is calling her parents. I bet he is. Yeah. Now let's go on to my boyfriend, Michael and Justine. Montana Mills and Jazzy Justine.
I think they need to change the spelling from Millz Mills to Meals Mills.
Oh my God, Keisha.
Your boy has put on some. He eating good over there in Vegas. He eating real good.
Listen, he not hitting the gym as much as he used to.
At all.
and been going to those all-you-can-eat buffets that they have in
Yes.
Vegas.
And they have good ones in Vegas. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I said, he's living good because he's eating good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's remind everybody, if you haven't seen them before, Justine is 36. She's a stay-at-home mom, even though she does have some sort of medical degree to be a medical
She does.
assistant. She's a
Mm-hmm.
pharmacy assistant, I believe. And Michael is age 36. He's a rapper slash warehouse manager. And he was in prison for drug manufacturing and possession, which was, in fact, fentanyl. He was in
Yes,
regular
it
prison
was.
and federal prison. He was a very bad dude in his day. Okay.
But he's still so cute.
He's cute. He is.
He's just cute. He really
Even with
is.
the pounds, he's cute.
Yes, he still is.
So 16 months out of prison, they're at a doctor's appointment with their daughter, Manhattan Barbie. Manhattan
Which is like
Barbie
the stupidest fucking
is
name.
6 months old, and they call her Maddie. Okay.
Yes.
Surprise! Justine's pregnant again. She's
How
16 to
is this
17 weeks pregnant.
possible? Mary Hank, this doesn't even make sense. Like, I think they did this on purpose. They're trying to get their own show.
Like 9 kids and counting or whatever.
Yes, I think they are banking on the fact that they could get their own show. That's what I think.
Well, 16 to 17 weeks pregnant. So she's 4 months pregnant. So she got pregnant when the new baby was 2 months old.
That is crazy.
That is crazy, but it happens.
That is crazy. Yeah, it happens a lot, but it usually happens to people who don't have 36 other children.
Correct. So you
Which
guys,
they do.
yeah, if you didn't know, he had 4 kids, 3 from a previous relationship, and then 1 at the exact same time. So his youngest 2 children are the exact same age
Yes.
because he had a side piece. And then she has 3 children, and then they have Manhattan Barbie together, and now they have a new baby. That makes 9 for those of you counting at home. Okay.
That is 8 too many for me.
Yep. So they have Kylie, who's 19. That's Justine's kid. They have Melody, who's 17. That's Mike's kid. They have Santana, who's 14. That's Justine's kid. Bentley, who is 11. That's Justine's kid. And then there's 3 more of Mike's children not featured here. Because we only have Melody, his oldest daughter, is there, and the other 3 are not there. He has Michael
I don't
Jr.
think they live there.
Yeah. The Michael Jr. And then they have, I can't remember those other 2
Nova.
kids.
I think it's Nova.
Very good, Keisha. Good remembering. There's one
And
more.
there's another boy, I want to say.
A little boy and a little girl that were born at the same time, 2 different moms. So anyway, they laugh about, like, was it planned for them to have this kid? And she goes, I mean, no. And he goes, yes, it was. You had the ovulating app. And she was like, stop. No, I didn't. It's like, how are you ovulating 2 months after having a baby?
I know, because usually it's like 2 months before you get a good period.
It's like 2 months before you're even really allowed to have sex. If you've had C-sections and all that.
You know, they were fucking by week 3.
Oh, God. So she's like, they haven't told their parents, just the kids, because, the parents will be judgmental.
They're going to freak out. As they kind of should in a way, because I think they end up having to help them out a lot.
Yes, totally. I think that his mom lives with them.
I remember at one point she did, when they first moved there, I know that she came with them. Now, whether it was to stay or not, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So the doctor is like, okay, yes. So this will be your 5th C-section. And after a 3rd C-section, we really, really recommend not having a 4th C-section. And this is your 5th. Right. So are you going to get your tubes tied? And she goes, yeah, I was really thinking about that. And she goes, yeah, you need permanent sterilization. So you have no more pregnancies. And this lady was not sugarcoating it.
No, she was not at all, because she's like, I can't believe this bitch is pregnant again already.
So the doctor says, yeah, you need to talk about getting your tube ties. You need permanent sterilizations. So I was like, wow. She goes, you can't have any more pregnancies. Like, you shouldn't even be having this one. And he was like, what about you? Are you considering having a vasectomy? And of course,
every guy says no.
No, because like her stuff will still work. My stuff. I've never heard of anybody having a vasectomy and then having their penis not work. What are you talking about?
It doesn't happen. But in every guy's head, that is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They have convinced themselves that that is exactly what's going to happen.
And then all their friends tell them it's so horrible. And you're like,
and it's really not. It's way less complicated than what we have to go through.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, after the doctor says you need permanent sterilization, anyway, I think the doctor wanted to be like, you're about to have your 6th child, sir. I think you're fine. So,
Yeah. Your
they
shit's working too good.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then they talk about DNR and all that, because if she doesn't survive this, like what would they do and all this? And I think that probably this is a little put on for
Yeah.
TV,
I agree.
because listen, you could be having your first baby ever, anything
And
could
something can
happen.
happen.
Yes.
Right. And then I don't understand why they did this when she had the complications when she was pregnant with the newest baby.
Yeah. Why would they purposely get pregnant again?
Because they want the money. They want a show.
Okay. So anyway, I was like, she has 3 kids with 2 guys, and Mike has 4 with 2 other women. And
Mhm.
then Maddie makes 8 and new baby makes 9.
That's a lot of damn kids.
It's a lot. So she cries about if she has the baby and she's gonna die, he should follow the baby. He should go with the baby. Don't sit around and be
Right.
with her. And he's like, what would I do without her? And all of a sudden now I got 9 kids. And so yeah,
Yeah.
you guys should have thought about that, actually.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you know what? If something did happen to her, he's going to have a new woman within a month to help him raise all those kids.
Of course he would.
And I don't really blame him either. Like,
A lot
I
of
need
kids.
fucking help. I need help.
You guys, it's my favorite time of year. It's when I get to switch my closet over from my summer clothes to my fall clothes. I really do love this process. Weed out things that I no longer wear. And now that I've discovered Quince, you guys, I've been talking to you about it forever. They have these cashmere sweaters. They are 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters. I got the cutest black cashmere sweater, and I've been wearing it on top of my Quince long silk dress. Also, they have a great leather jacket that I've been eyeballing. I have a black one, but I'm thinking about getting a brown one. So you're going to get those Mongolian cashmere sweaters for just $50. Okay. That's 50 to 80% less than similar brands. You know how they do it. They cut out the middleman. I've told you, when you go to Quince, you go to that little chart at the bottom and you look, hey, here's the exact same sweater with 3 other brands, and look at the price difference. Another thing I just bought from Quince, you guys, pro tip, they have the softest pajamas. It's cozy season and we are ready for it. You got your PJs, you got your cashmere sweaters, you got your leather over your silk. Killing the game. Don't sleep on their shoes. They've got great shoes too. So those are the things I've gotten recently. And there's about 6 things in my cart right now. I can't quit. I can't stop it. Quince, I can't stop you. Get cozy in Quince's high quality wardrobe essentials. You're going to go to quince.com/pink shade for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/pink shade to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/pink shade. And please send me a DM and tell me what you got. So, Britney and Kerok. So we haven't seen them in a few.
Baby! Gotta love Britney.
Oh, we haven't seen them in a few seasons. Kerok has been out of prison for 7 months. We have their little faces come up. Britney, 23, unemployed. Remember, she went to prison for armed robbery. Kerok, age 26, he is an HVAC technician and he was in for robbery. So Kerok has been out for 7 months. They're packing up. They're talking about their big move to Houston, Texas, but they got to go get an oil change, get the car ready to travel. They're so excited. And I was like, look out, Keisha. Here they come. Here they come.
They're so close. They're so close to me right now that whenever she says, baby, I can hear it. I said, there go Britney. There's Brit.
So they're talking head together. They're still engaged. They're still going to get married. She's really hoping they could get like a big wedding. And there are good jobs for both of them in Houston. She's already got her eyeball on this like nail place that where she wants to work. And hopefully it'll be a fresh start for them. And they drive their Mercedes to the oil change place. And why is she just fully in her pajamas?
In her pajamas.
Pajamas.
What was that?
Just throw on some sweatpants. What are you doing?
She gonna fit in with certain parts of Houston, most definitely doing shit like
Jeez.
that. Yeah. My
I
mom
did.
would kill me.
Oh my God. My mom
Yeah.
would kill me even knowing I'm going out of the house without any lipstick. By the way, I like her hair color. I think it looks good on her.
Brittany has good hair. She said, remember in the very beginning, she had the bangs that were banging.
Hmm.
She just has good hair.
Yeah. And she knows how to fix it and it looks good.
She does.
And his mom and brother, we don't know which brother,
Which brother? Hmm.
are also going to move to Houston. So they're all going to
Okay.
go. It's going to be great. So I thought they were going to move to New York to be closer to her family, but they're going the opposite
They're
direction.
even further. Yeah.
So Key Rock gets a call from a corrections officer, I guess, or a parole
Hmm.
officer, maybe, who says, okay, Virginia has approved for you guys to move or whatever, but the state of Texas doesn't want you. The state of Texas says, nope, 2 felons may not move here. No, no, and no.
Oh man. But that just seems like some shit you would have waited for
Mm-hmm.
before packing up everything. Like literally, they've packed up everything.
Uh-huh.
Their lease is up, and just
You should get
young
approval.
folks.
You should get approval first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we would do it.
So the PO person is saying, like, well, you shouldn't have made plans to move without confirmation from the state of Texas because you have to get a confirmation from both states. And Key
Yes,
Rock is like, we've done everything right. We always check in. We've never passed a drug, never failed a drug screen. We've done
yeah,
everything right. Well, recall that I do believe both of them have been arrested since they've been out of prison for like speeding.
for speeding. Yes, very
So,
stupid.
so no, they haven't done everything right.
No, but right enough. It's been right enough, Mary Kay.
They didn't do any robberies or anything. Come
No
on now.
robberies, nothing like that. Just, little traffic issues and here and there, no problem. Which, again, they'll fit in right in Houston with all that shit right there because Lord knows the traffic here is bad.
So she comes out to talk to him and she could tell he's getting all worked up. And she's like, simmer down, like calm down.
Right.
And the PO goes, I don't know, it could take like 30 days of approval. And Brittany's like, give me the phone. So Brittany's like, hi, this is Brittany. Like, tell me what's going on. And she goes, here's the thing though, like we've already given up the lease on our place and we'll have no place to live
Right.
if we get denied and you think it could take 30 days. And the PO goes, well, we can put you in a government provided hotel room, but it's up to the state of Texas to review it. In the meantime, I'll just send you the information about the hotel space. And Key Rock's like, I'm from here. I know what a government provided motel room looks like. And she goes, well, it'd be better than living in her car,
I'm thinking the worst
I am too.
when thinking about this. Yeah.
I'm too. So Key Rock says, I feel bad because I'm not being the man. I'm not being the provider. I feel like a failure. And she's like, it's okay, baby. We're going to work it out, baby. It's
Right.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. So that's where we leave them. Now we're going to go to Kim and Joey, and it's 2 months out of prison, unemployed. Why? Why are you still unemployed? It's been 2 months. 2 months.
So I have to tell you what my mom said.
Okay.
She goes, how come I never noticed that boy was big? I was like, I don't know how none of y'all didn't see those childbearing hips. As soon as he walked out of the prison door, that's the first thing that I saw. And he is really preparing for birth now. He is ready. He's like, I can push out twins. Like, I got this.
He's wide, but he doesn't have like
Bottom
a big
wide.
stomach, but he's
It's
got like,
all hips and thighs.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of progesterone. He's got a lot of estrogen.
Yeah, because everything on him should be on a woman.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right. So Kim is with Joey's mom, Tammy, at her dad's house for some reason. And they're going through the garage, the toys and stuff there, because they're going to get ready for a garage sale or like a moving sale or something. And she says, when he first got out, it was really bad, but it is getting better. And she was like, my dad's getting tired of storing all this stuff. I was like, looks like the garage is completely empty and it's 2 tiny bins of toys. What are you talking about?
But her dad is still tired of seeing it.
Yeah.
Tired of seeing it. He's got to have that new 4-wheeler in there to make sure Joey don't steal it again.
That's right. Put a double lock on that.
Yep.
And they need to make money for a house down payment. Now, girl.
No, wait a minute.
You're not going to get money from a garage sale to get a house payment. Now, come on now.
You don't have enough money, period, for a down payment for a house.
What's wrong with the place they live
There's
in
no
now?
way.
It's enough
I
space.
don't know. Well, maybe they found out that a fucking convicted felon was living there and they told them they had to move.
Great point. Also, Dad's
Yeah.
house looks pretty big.
He does not. Can you imagine Joey living with the dad? The dad would have like a lock on the refrigerator, a lock on the pantry, and everything because he does not trust Joey at all.
Mm-mm. No, he does not, and with good reason. So her lease is up, and so if they get a house payment, if they get a house, the house payment will be at least $1,500 a month, and then they have to have 10% to put down. And she goes like, I've just got to make him get a job, and we got to sell all this stuff to make money. And oh, let me track him. So she's tracking him on her phone. And Tammy goes, you track him all the time? And she goes, yeah, of course I do. She's like, good. This is his mother.
This is his mom.
And she goes, yeah, I don't know when I'll ever be able to trust him. Probably
But you're going to
never.
marry him. Yeah,
But you
you're
should
going to
definitely marry him. And
Yeah.
have him live
Yeah.
in the home with your children. Yeah.
This is the whole thing where, no, we're not ready to get married, but let's have a baby.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. We
That
already
makes
have
sense
8
well.
kids. We're going to have a 9th. Same idea. Yeah. So then we see him driving a car. He's chatting with the kids in the car. He's in a car with no rims. So either she made him take those back.
She made him. I think she did. I think she said, you're taking these motherfuckers back.
Yeah.
Until you can get a job, you got to take these back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame her either.
So he's chatting with the kids in the car. Oh, I'm on full dad duty, blah, blah, blah. Because, I mean, she's a teacher's aide, so she does have to be at school early and stuff.
Right.
So then he explains that he and Kimberly were having sex in 2018, and then he went to prison. And then she was pregnant, but she was also having sex with her ex at the time, but they weren't married. Now, Keisha, please help me understand this, because we know she's been married twice.
Yes.
I thought both kids were with the second husband. No
Me
kids
too.
with the first husband. Okay.
No.
So she's married to husband 1. She's cheating on him with husband 2. So she leaves husband 1 and is not married and is banging dude number 2. But at the same time, she's with banging dude number 2.
Yes.
Not married. Also banging Joey.
Yeah. She always practices her Kegels like all the time because she stays busy. Yeah. So.
Okay. So then Joey goes to prison. She finds herself pregnant and assumes or says is dude number 2's baby. So they get married. Is that what I'm hearing? That's who she's still married to.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kaysen could have a possibility of 3 dads, actually. Really. Let's be honest. Poor Kaysen. He didn't ask for this. He's so sweet. He's so sweet.
But, you know, Joey's not wrong. They do kind of look alike.
I just think they both have the same haircut.
They do kind of look alike, the same hair color. And you have to remember the little boy is totally blonde. And this kid has not brown hair, but black hair. Like Joey.
Okay.
We need to just look at the little boy's hips. And if he's got little
Keisha,
hips,
stop it.
Joey is the dad. Most definitely.
Can't talk about that.
Those hips.
Can't talk about that child. That is so sad. So, but, I mean, they're putting it on TV about his paternity.
That's true.
So she says, okay, so I'm like, both kids have the same dad. Ex was number 2, dude number 1.
Yeah.
This person cheated and that confusing. Anyway, Joey thinks he could be the dad of Kaysen, who's 5. And he's going to do a DNA test. He's going to swab his mouth and swab Kaysen's mouth and then send it off. So in the car.
No, he's not. He's going to need help doing that. I don't think Joey's smart enough to do any of that.
Well, he did it. We saw him. He swabbed and said it was a COVID test.
I thought I saw Kimberly right there with him.
Oh, well, she was there. Yeah.
Yeah, because she had to read the instructions.
True. So he puts it in the envelopes or whatever. And in the car, Joey is saying to her, everybody deserves to know the truth. And so he goes to the mailbox. And I said, I'm going to be honest. This man could use some of his free time to work out. The kids are in school all day. What else is he doing? He needs to work on his figure.
This is what I was thinking the whole time. Kimberly's probably hoping that Joey is not the dad because at least she's getting child support from the other man.
Right.
Joey ain't got no job. So
right. You're right.
That will be less money coming into the house.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's end with Tennie and Rob. Tennie is
Ooh.
34, a stay-at-home mom, and Rob is also 34. He's a tarp and supply worker. So he's already got a job. He's
Yeah,
been out
because
he's been out 6 weeks. He's got a job.
when you try to get a job, you usually can get a job.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And so the kids are, remember, Cheyenne, the daughter's 13, and Nehemiah is 11.
the
So
best kids.
they are the best kids we've ever seen on
Fantastic
television.
kids.
They're so
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
So they're moving his stuff because they're moving into a new house, it seems.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And he's been out for 6 weeks. They're very happy. They went on a trip to Florida. It was his first time
Mhm.
on an airplane. It was his first time in the ocean. We see all the shots of that. Looks very fun. And they talk about the cameras and how they're still going to have them, but now they're more for security. So,
Sure, Jan.
uh-huh. So at my sister's house, they have one of the little ring cameras that, kinds you can move around and have it on top of the fridge, like pointing into
Mhm.
the house and at the doors. And every time I'm in there, I turn that thing around because I'm like, I don't like thinking
That's
somebody's looking at me.
it's the same at my brother's house. Like,
Mhm.
we do the same thing. We turn it. It's like, "What the fuck are you looking at me for?"
Yeah, we're gonna turn this around.
No, I don't.
No,
Yeah, I turn it around. Yeah.
especially because
My
I was
mom
sitting.
knocks it down.
Okay, well, I'm not that aggressive, but when I was doing the podcast with you from my sister's place,
Mhm.
at her place at Ole Miss, I turned it around. I was like, I don't need somebody watching me do my podcast. It's embarrassing
Yeah, it
enough
just
as it
seems
is.
it sounds feels weird. It's like, what if I'm like picking a wedgie out or like my fucking
Yeah,
brother sees that? Like, this is
yeah.
weird. I don't know.
So, she says the day he was released, they took a shower together, and that's when she saw the tattoo of the X on his arm. So she says, "Look, I'm petty. I bring it up in arguments.
I do
But
too.
look, he loved that girl, and I've also been in love before, so it's not a big thing, but it still irks me, and so I still bring it up. So, as is her
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. He needs to hurry up and get like a lion mane, put on that and turn her into some kind of fucking lioness or just
Yes,
do
yes.
something with it because that has got to go.
It's
I
got to
couldn't do
go.
it.
It's got to
Yeah.
go. So, they are going to the welcome home party
Mhm.
okay, now they're like, we're gonna go to the party. It's at a bar or whatever, a rooftop.
Mhm.
Did you see Cheyenne pulled a store-bought cake out of the oven in the plastic?
Yes,
Now,
I did.
okay, so
Mhm.
the oven's not on, and you're just using that for the place to store the store-bought cake?
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
I guess maybe because they were trying to hide it from him, but wouldn't he see it in the car? I don't know.
How could he not see it in the car?
I know. I know. I don't know.
Okay. So they go to this rooftop place and they're all in white shirts and jeans. They like to match.
Mhm.
And the kids are very sweet about him, about how much,
Yes, they
they love
are.
him, how they love him and everything. And so nobody comes to the party. And he's
It
like,
was
it's
so
just like,
sad.
he goes, it's just like visitation. Every weekend it was just you guys. Like I'm used to it now.
I felt really bad for him.
He
I
must have
really
been a
did.
real bad person. And then it was in jail for 16 years and nobody's happy to see him out. That's sad to me.
Do you think that's what it is?
I think it's been 16 years and people forgot about him. That's what I think. Yeah.
God dang, that's really sad.
It is.
I felt bad for him.
It
Yeah.
is. So, Tennie calls his sister, whose name is Honest, and calls her and says, "Are you coming?" And she goes, "Oh, well, yeah, I got to take my kid to gymnastics. And also, I
Mhm.
got an allergic reaction, my eye's swollen. And also, like, my dog threw up. And then
All
also,
excuses.
she
Yeah.
was coming up with everything."
Yeah.
So then he calls his buddy and he was like, "Hey man, you coming over to the party?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm sitting at home. I'm still just down and out or whatever. I don't know if he had
Yeah.
a hangover, he was sick, or had COVID or what." So then they're like, "Well, at least your mom said she's coming." And then Tenny says, "I've got a pretty good relationship with the mom, Kate. Like I've got a good relationship with everybody in the family except for Kate, but right now we're good, but
Right.
that could always change." And we get
Yes.
clips of seeing Kate from before.
Yes.
So Tenny's mom, Charlene, arrives, and then her friend, is her name Rochelle? She said
I
it
can't
fast.
remember. I can't remember because it was so much titties in that scene. That woman needs a breast reduction because her back has to hurt. Those things were humongous. It looked like two toddlers were in her chest.
It was quite a large
They were
rack.
big.
Yeah,
Yes.
she does need breast reduction surgery. And hey,
Yeah.
Rochelle, insurance will pay for that.
Yeah.
They absolutely will, because that is a medical issue.
Yes, it is.
Wow. So I wasn't going to mention it, but of course you have
That's
to.
where you have me.
All right.
You knew I was going to mention it.
So Tennie's mom, Charlene, and Tennie talk, and she was like, "It's hard. Like nobody's here.
Yeah.
It's really sad." And the mom
Mhm.
goes, "It's sad because at the base of it, he is a little boy that wants his mom's approval, and that's sad that he has to
Absolutely.
fight to get his mom to love him or whatever."
Or even wonder if she's going to show up to his welcome home party.
Let's just remember he was in prison for 16 years for robbery with a firearm. So it's not
Yeah.
like he did nothing and he was like put in prison for no reason. And he was in prison
Right.
for a very long, but he ran the prison, so he was doing all right.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
He did run that prison.
remember, like he would just put up a towel and be like,
Yeah.
"I'm in here talking to my girlfriend. Nobody bother me on
Yeah.
my illegal
Uh-huh.
cell phone."
He had all the security stuff up
Yeah.
because he's watching. Yeah. He was the man.
How he was charging that with nobody noticing, I don't know.
I don't know.
So the talking head, Tennie, reminds us that his family never visited him in prison, really. And since he's been out, the mom has come to see him a few times, but she said like for every 10 visits, the family would come like one. Like they came like a few times a year. And they were there
And
once they reopened it after COVID, they were there every single weekend, even though they couldn't even touch each other.
yeah, and I still think she should not have dragged her kids every single weekend to
Agree.
go visit not their real dad in prison.
I agree with that too. So she says, I see the disappointment in his eyes, that
Yeah.
people aren't coming. And so they bring out the cake and they're literally like, "We decorated it ourselves." I was like, "Now listen, we saw it is
We
literally like on the cardboard from the Safeway or whatever with the
Yeah, I was gonna
plastic
say
thing that comes on top of it."
Costco or
Uh-huh.
Walmart, they made that cake right there. They
Okay. So
may have designed it and said, "This is what we want on the cake,"
mhm.
but they didn't make that cake,
With his inmate number.
which is pretty fucking funny to me.
I'm like, "Come on now. Let him
I
get
thought that
past
was
it."
hilarious.
But, Cheyenne puts it in his face. She's like, "My grandma was telling me to do it," which is
Yeah.
hilarious. So, his mom, Kate, arrives, and
Mhm.
Kate literally looks like she's just fresh out of, like, going to the country club for a junior league luncheon, always.
She's a good-looking lady.
She is, and she's very, like, put together and preppy, you
Yeah.
know?
But
Um,
that attitude ain't.
no.
Mm-mm,
So
it's straight hood.
she hugs Tennie and is like, "I love you so much. I appreciate you." Tennie's like, "We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Amazing."
Okay, we're
She
off to a
hugs
good start.
she hugs Rob. He's so happy. "Thank you so much for coming. It's great." Now they've got 4 people at this party because they got both
Yes.
moms and Rochelle and her
The
kid.
friend.
Okay.
And, technically, we could count Rochelle's titties too.
Keisha,
So
stop. Keisha.
it's it's 8 people there.
Keisha. It's terrible. Oh my
Uh,
God. So Rochelle takes all the kids away so Tennie and Rob and the moms can talk. So Rob
mhm,
says, "Yeah, a lot of people didn't show up. It's just too bad." And Kate says, "Look, I'm glad to be here, but we need to talk. You don't spend enough time with me." And he
mhm,
goes, "Mom, what I'm going through after being out of prison is a lot, and nobody really understands it. And, I'm older now because
right.
he's 34. And when he went in, he was 16? Is that right? What's
Ooh,
34
is that
minus
right?
16, Keisha? 28?
Come on.
I can't do math.
Me neither. That's what I said. Come on.
Okay, let me get my phone out. You guys, this
Gotta
is
know.
basic math that 2 people cannot do. Okay. Yeah, 30. Yeah, because I was like 16 plus. How did I get that right? 34 minus 16. No, wait, hold on. 30. 18.
Okay. You were
Okay.
close enough. You're close
Okay.
enough.
16 and 16 would be 32. Okay. So, all
You were
right.
close enough for me.
Okay. All right. You guys
Yes.
just everybody pretend like you didn't hear any of that. So,
Mhm.
so he went to prison when he was 18 and now he's
Yeah.
34. So he's like, "I'm older now. I have a
Right.
whole family here now. So it's not like when I was 18 and I could come to your that's the subtext
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And I have all of this down here." And Kate says, "I get it. But at the end of the day, if Tennie's not going to be around, I'm always going to be here." And Tennie goes, "What do you mean? If Tennie's not going to be around, like we're married?" And she goes, "I mean, hypothetically speaking, like if you're not here." And Tennie goes, "No, because we're
Yeah.
together."
She could have worded that so much differently. She could have said, no matter what, I'm always going to be here.
I am your mother.
That's all she had to say. I'm your mom. I'm always going to be here no matter what. And that's it. But she's messy.
She wants him to drive to wherever she lives to see her. And he's like, I have a job, I have kids, and I'm not 18 anymore. I'm a married man. I'm 34 years old. So she says, so Rob, what I am trying to say is you left us to take care of another family. So Tennie goes, okay, I'm going to go get a drink. So she stands up. Now, if you remember, Kate was all about the dollar bills, y'all. Kate was all about the money and how his old girlfriend made sure he got paid. Kate got all the money because he and his brothers run some sort of dry cleaning business, laundry, something. What'd you say? What kind?
I thought they made t-shirts too.
Oh, see, I thought it was laundry. Either way, we're both right. So she wants the money, and she wants him to come visit wherever she lives more often. I think it's a couple hours away. And so Rob, what I'm trying to say is you left us to take care of another family. And Tennie goes, I'm going to go get a drink, because she's like, I'm just going to stand up and walk away. And she goes, okay, have a good day.
Lord Jesus.
Listen, woman, you were at a party that I'm hosting. Excuse me. And so Tennie whips around, leans over that coffee table, and is like, what's your problem with me? And they start girl fighting, slapping each other.
They was in a little bit more than girl fighting.
And then Rob tries to push back, and Rob falls on the floor, gets pushed down. And they
just kept on fighting.
And Charlene is trying to jump in there. And then you see sweet Cheyenne, the daughter, she jumps up and was like, don't be hitting my mother. She hops up.
That was a real fucking fight too. That was not for show.
No, because I think Rob would not have agreed to be slammed into a coffee table.
No, and they just kept right on rumbling. He'll be all right. Yeah.
Wow. That was so quick and so sudden.
It happened fast. Now I thought they were going to cuss each other out.
I didn't know
but
that
I
was
didn't
think
happen. They were going to be boxing.
And I didn't see who slapped at each other first, because Tennie got in her face and what's your problem with me? And then Tennie said that and then reached out to hit her.
I think so. Yeah.
Tennie, you're too cute to act like that. She's so cute.
Look, I understand to feel the need to want to slap the shit out of your mother-in-law.
Producer James, this is now where you need to turn off the podcast.
No, I told him after we watched that scene. I said, I know what it feels like to want to reach over and slap the dog shit out of your mother-in-law. I know, Keisha. I know. But I'm trying to be different. I don't feel like that now. We've come a long way.
Yes, I know.
But through the years, I have wanted to reach over, snatch that helmet hairdo, and it's knock her down to the ground. But we have evolved. So I do understand Tennie's feelings. It brought back some memories for me. I get it. But god damn. And you did it on camera too? Shit. Ooh.
I know. And there's only already 4 people at the party. Now everybody's going to leave. I mean.
Mary Payne, not 4 people.
6 people.
Add 2. Because each one of those titties got a little got a slice of cake. Okay.
Stop.
Those titties said there's more than enough cake to share. Go ahead and cut us a little piece. This titty want a corner piece. This titty want a middle piece. I'm just saying. Those titties said a lot of people didn't show up. Go ahead and make us a plate. Why let all that good food go to waste? Well, we right here.
We have to stop. You've got to stop. I'm done crying. Oh my God. Okay, that's it. Keisha, what is happening? They did this season on, but I'm not recapping that because when they do that, it's too much for me, and I can't pause it every 4 seconds and write it down. But some shit's gonna happen. We'll find out next week.
Yes. So new episodes coming out on the 9th. Because I got to recap 1,000-Pound Sisters.
Okay, Wednesday
and I also have to talk a little bit about the Potomac premiere that's tonight.
Okay.
But I also have to make mention of the horrible season premiere of Roni. That was horrific.
A lot of people liked it. And we're just like, it's back. We're excited.
That's how I felt up until the time I watched it. It was a snore fest. Yeah.
It was exciting at the end. It was
But
exciting
we
at the
had to
end.
sit through 55 minutes
Mhm.
of
Why?
stupid shit. Thank God for Jessel. Jessel Brown.
Why? Why does Jenna Lyons always have greasy hair and now everybody's talking about how she smells? Is she doesn't shower? Like, what's happening? Why isn't she showering?
Jenna looks like she smells.
For they were all like, she was like, "Do I smell?" And she was like, "Kinda," and then moved away from
I
her and never moved back. What does she not shower on the daily? What's going on, Jenna?
I feel like everyone should shower daily.
Yeah.
Let's say you fell asleep and didn't shower that night. You knew you were going somewhere the following day, so why not get up in the morning and take a fucking shower?
Yeah, I didn't understand that, and then it's like, her car breaks down and her AC doesn't work in her apartment, and it's like, "What's going on with
Money
Jenna?"
problems.
Well, so
Yeah.
I heard somebody on a podcast say it's giving Sonia Morgan vibes, you know?
See, I don't know Sonia Morgan.
Oh, well, then you've missed out on a great joy of life because if you don't know Sonia Morgan, then you don't know.
I know who she is.
Yeah,
I just don't know her story. I'll put
yeah.
it that way.
It's a lot of, like, live in a mansion that you can't afford to heat kind of a thing. Yeah, yeah. You
Okay.
use your, toaster oven because you don't wanna use any electricity for the stove, and the ice is
This is
brown, but
giving
it's fine, and, that kind of thing.
this is giving me Little Edie, Big Edie vibes. What
Uh,
was the name of the movie?
Grey Gardens, Grey
Grey
Gardens.
Gardens. This is giving me Grey Garden vibes.
I have a blanket in this room because Sonia Morgan had a tagline one time said, "There's nothing gray about my gardens," because
Oh, really?
everybody says that that's exactly what
Compared it
it's
to
like.
yeah, because I was like, you're saying this. I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm getting Grey Garden vibes here.
Yeah, she
Like,
walks around her house and, like, "I can't turn the heat on, so we're just gonna walk around in fur coats in the house because 'cause I've got 30 fur coats, but I can't afford the heat," that kinda thing. Yeah.
oh wow. Okay.
I
That's
mean,
that broke rich.
I think that if you ever started from season 1 of Roni, you would thank me, and maybe you would never leave your house because it's so good.
You and everyone else says that you have to
OG
watch the
Roni is the
original
best.
Roni.
It's the best.
Really?
It's the
Okay,
best.
one of these days,
All
I'll
right,
do it. I'll
let me
do
know
it.
when you start on your journey.
I will.
Everybody, if you want to listen to Keisha's podcast, you're going to follow the Libra Lounge with Keisha. That is the name of the podcast. You can also find her on Instagram and Facebook at that same handle, the Libra Lounge with Keisha. She's very funny on social media. And
That's Keisha, not Kesha, not Keisha. Keisha. Because I'm doing the whole Zeruiah, all
oh,
that. Yeah,
gotcha.
it's
I gotcha.
Keisha. Keisha. Yeah, Keisha.
Not Kaisha,
Not
not
Kaisha, not Kaija, not Kesha. None of that.
what was the one that somebody called you in high school?
Ricochet. That shit's not funny, Mary Payne.
Ricochet.
Fucking Ricochet. Yeah.
Oh my
Mhm.
god, that's
Yeah.
so funny.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
That's where you follow us. And if you want to hear more of Keisha and I together, you can go over to Pink Shade Prime. You can subscribe at the $10 level. We're doing Love is Blind season 7, which is in DC, which is a great thrill for
Yes.
me. We also did Love is Blind UK and Love is Blind season
Mhm.
6. So it's all
We
over there. We
did.
did.
We
But
did.
remember what I said at the beginning. If you're going to do it on
Don't use the
Patreon,
Patreon app.
don't use the app. You can listen on the app. Just don't sign up for anything on that app because they're going to screw you 6 ways to Sunday and they're going to screw me too. And I don't like it.
You don't want that. No.
Dog is barking. Maybe that means Anna is
It's
home. That'll be great for me. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. And I'll see you tomorrow, 90 days, before the 90 days with Kimberly. Okay, bye.